Well, hello everybody and welcome back to PS4 Aor F8 Season 14 Round 12 live from the Ardennes Forest. We're here in Spa-Francorchamps for round 13 of the F8 season. I've been away for a little while. I was doing the F1 tier actually. I got poached for about 2 rounds there, but I'm back here in F8. I've missed a few of the rounds and the championship has really kind of closed up in the past 2 rounds, let's say. The gap is now 16 points between McQuiz and Washi in first and second respectively. McQuiz taking the win last time out in Hungary, and it has been an interesting one. David Ben winning in Silverstone as far as I remember. Checking the streams back and checking the results back, so congratulations to him. I did miss out. But we have some new drivers here today. Welcome along to Ghost Hunter, who's driving the Haas teammates with Seika now for this season. And now we have, of course, we've Honk Doink back in the Red Bull. He is teammates alongside Jason. And I believe we also had another new one as well. I can't quite spot him. I saw some guy called Dyson in the lobby there. I'll have to check again. But we're back. 15 drivers. McQuiz is championship contender. He can turn the championship in his favour today. If he outscores Washi by, I believe, 2 points. No. Well, if he wins and Washi is a second, then he will take the lead of the championship. Gap 16 points for himself and Washi. So then, we're here, Spa-Francorchamps, and a very, very, very famous circuit, synonymous with Formula 1. It's been on the calendar for a long, long time. In its first iteration, it used to go through the town of Spa-Francorchamps and around the main roads, past people's houses, and in through the fields. And it has been developed and become a very, very modern F1 track. Everybody loves Spa. Everybody knows Spa. Everybody knows Eau Rouge. We'll take an onboard lap with one of the drivers as soon as we can. We'll go on board with Washi, your championship leader, as he goes onto a lap around Spa-Francorchamps here. We're going down towards the famous Eau Rouge and Raidillon. I think he's on quite a slow lap, actually. We'll go on someone who's going on a timed lap. If we can find somebody. McQuiz goes fast as 145.2. We're going to be looking for the high 44s. We're going to be looking for as Zek hits the wall all the way into the pit lane. That's embarrassing. I'm glad I caught that on stream. So then we'll go to this live stream chat and welcome you all along to this event today. I've been looking forward to this, and interesting to see how the championship will turn out. There's the other guy I missed, Buffon, who has joined us from F7, come down from F7 to join us here in F8. So then, the 2 guys at the top there are separated by 0.02 of a second. There you are, between McQuiz and David Ben. The number 95 and the number, what's his number there? Can't quite see, 20-something. The age he thinks he is. That's the number on his car right there. Let's see what can Washi redeem himself today? Can he gain the lead back that he lost? McQuiz actually pointed out in the group chat we have. He pointed out that in the time that he was DNF, when he DNF'd in Monaco and when he did not start a couple of Grand Prix, Washi scored 47 points and gained a 47-point advantage over. Well, it was in the 50s at one point, the gap between himself and Washi, but it's now down to 16, so it would just show you, with McQuiz's form, how close he could be with Washi. Could be within 2-3 points at this point, or he could even be in the lead of the championship at this point. But we're coming to that point in qualifying where we have a lull in proceedings, as drivers will bolt on a new set of tyres, and adjust their wings if they need to, and all that good stuff. Just trying to see if I can find anybody who is starting a lap. Well, we'll try and find somebody in the second half of this qualifying session. 5 minutes gone. Well, sorry, 5 minutes remaining of this session. We've got some very, very famous corners around this track. It's gone through a few different iterations. We had the 1960s version, which went through the towns and villages of Spa around here. It used to go left at the top of Eau Rouge, but then they changed it to go left and right, and it then changed to the track we know today. The only recent change was the bus stop chicane at the last corner there. So Jason on his way out. Well, he's about to finish. Well, he's finished a timed lap, so he's going to be coming back in. We're looking for someone who's on an out lap. Denzamo, that's who we want to be looking at. The man who is battling away with David Ben in the championship. So the Toro Rosso boys are doing really well in the Constructors' Championship. That was their aim for this season, was to win the Constructors' Championship. They can wrap that up in the next couple of rounds if they keep up the consistency that they have been doing. It's good to see that David Ben now has finally got a teammate in the form of Buffon. Drivers now making their way back out on track. And we'll see how things get on in the second half of qualifying live from Spa-Francorchamps in the Ardennes Forest. So we'll wait to Denzamo to get to the end of his lap. Is there anybody nearer to where he is? Ian's on an out lap in the Renault, of course. He changed over later on in the season. And will change from Force India and is so far one of the only men to score points in every single race so far this season. He's finished every single race so far and is looking to continue that record. Denzamo, he's about to start his lap then, and he's coming up to the bus stop chicane, and we'll ride on board with him as he goes over for a lap around the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit, coming through the last chicane then. Easy on the power on the way out, and hits the throttles hard with his right foot, heading towards turn number 1, the lowest hairpin. That's the wrong track. That's Monaco. There we go. Past turn 1, then we head down towards Eau Rouge. The Eau Rouge is the first left-hander. The kink there. The second half is Radion. Absolutely flat in the 2017 spec cars. Onto the Kemmel straight for the first time. DRS open on Denzamo's car then. Heading down towards turn 3. Gets it nicely on the curb. And nicely on the curb on the left-hand side there. Heading down towards the second hairpin, and we go into corner, no-name corner, which is kind of a paradox in itself. And then we head down to Pouhon. Let's see how Denzamo handles Pouhon. It's going to be interesting in these 2017 cars. Lifts slightly, absolutely flat through Pouhon then. On the way out, and heading into the next two corners then, into the right and the left, before we head down towards Blanchimont. David Ben is finished with his lap then. He's going to start on the front row provisionally. Heading down towards Blanchimont then goes Denzamo in the Toro Rosso. How is he doing on his lap? Through Blanchimont, no problem at all for these cars. And into the bus stop chicane. Hard on the brakes. Down to second gear. Hitting the curb nicely on the way in. And hits it nicely on the way out. Hit it with the right foot. And Denzamo heads for the line. How's he going to do on this lap? He comes across the line and goes into the lead. Provisional pole for Denzamo on a 1:45.0. On board McQuiz as he heads towards the line. I think he's backing off just to get himself to another lap then. 30 seconds remain. Great lap from Denzamo that time. How are these guys going to respond? Washi goes onto a lap. Let's keep an eye on how he goes. McQuiz down to La Source. Keeping an eye on how he goes. And down towards Oru and Radion for his third lap so far this session. Great lap from Denzamo. 1:45.003. How can McQuiz respond to that? DRS open on the Mercedes. Down towards Lecomte. Gets it nicely turned in. McQuiz, always good in qualifying. But can we see Denzamo put it on pole for the first time this season? And into corner with no name. Looking good so far. Let's check. Can we get an eye on his delta? A touch wide, but absolutely flat. Huge commitment from McQuiz. Down towards Stavilo. Grandstand up on top of the mountain there, gazing down on how these cars are doing. Down towards Blanchimont. Can't quite see how he's doing on his Delta. He usually pops up on the left-hand side of his steering wheel. Heading down into Blanchimont. Absolutely flat, no problem at all for McQuiz. Washy on the front row alongside his teammate. 400ths of a second. It's a lockout for Toro Rosso. How can McQuiz get himself up there now, out of the final corner? Will he do it? Will we see a lockout from Toro Rosso, or will McQuiz come back? He gets back a 1:44.5, absolutely smashes it and goes on provisional pole. Can anybody respond? I don't think so. McQuiz with a stellar lap, 1:44.5 in the dying moments of qualifying, puts it on pole once again. Denzamo will start on the front row with Washi in P3. What a lap from the Estonian. So your grid order will be as follows. McQuiz on pole once again. Denzamo on the front row. Great effort from him, but it ended up being half a second in the end. 400 separate himself and Washi, who's going to start on the second row alongside David Ben. Hoink in P5. Good lap from him. Buffon P6. Jason P7. Danny P8. Ian in P9. Boniface down in P10, interestingly. Zek down in P11, Stewart in P11, Kelly Davis in P13, Seika in P14, and the debutant Ghost Hunter down in P15. So McQuiz delivers when it counts. Similar to a certain Lewis Hamilton, always delivered at the last moment and does so once again. So then we're going to get ready for the start in a coming seconds and minutes. So we have a great grid of 15 drivers. So good showing from the F8 boys today. Who needs AOR F1 when we've got F8 putting on a show like that? As we've seen a broken Red Bull in the wall right there. How is this going to end up? McQuiz takes pole position here in Spa-Francorchamps by about half a second over Denzamo. Toro Rosso, lockout 2 and 3. David Ben, P4. Hoink in P5. Buffon, P6. Jason, P7. Danny, OUK in P8. Ian in P9. Boniface in P10. Zek in P11. Stewart in P12. Kelly Davis in P13. Seika in P14. And Ghost Hunter down in P15. Haas round out the back of the grid today. Nobody else. Everybody starting on Ultrasofts. Well, everybody did their laps in Ultrasofts, but let's see who will start on the alternate compounds. Everybody from P10 upwards should start on those Ultrasofts, which is interesting. Well, I said they'd start on the Ultrasofts. They're going to be starting on intermediates because, well, it looks like we're going to have a wet start to this Grand Prix. Or is it wet enough for intermediates? Is the question. As for some reason, I've got an onboard on a McLaren. Not quite sure why I've got that, but I think we're on board with James Boniface as far as I can see, looking up towards La Source. Quite a short run to the first corner, but we all know what happened in 2012. Let's hope that does not happen today as we got the countdown, and with 5 seconds left to the race. Here we go. Grab your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to go racing in Spa-Francorchamps. And we go to 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. McQuiz gets away well. Denzamo gets away well. It's all even off the first 2 rows, but it is pouring rain for some reason. They're all on dry tyres and they're going to be absolutely struggling to turn 1. Denzamo will surge past into the lead of the Grand Prix as McQuiz loses out massively into turn 1. They're all squirming around trying to find grip on the dry tyres in the wet. As we go down to Eau Rouge, we see a couple of cars going side by side and off, and a huge crash involving one of the Ferraris and the Williams. That is a massive crash. Danny OUK involved, David Ben in the wall. That was a massive crash. How did they get away with that? Meanwhile, Washi passes his teammate into the lead of the Grand Prix. Denzamo will try and hold on the inside. This is absolute catastrophe, and Denzamo gets through, and the 2 championship contenders go wheel to wheel. And can Can McQuiz get past it all, past Washi? This is absolute madness. Zek, how has he got there? He's up into P4, Caddy Damus in P5, and Buffon down in P6. But what on earth has gone on here? They're all struggling. Oh, what on earth is going on here? Zek is trying to get past McQuiz into P3. They're all going to have to pit for intermediates, but it is Washi who leads from Denzamo, from McQuiz, from Zek, from Buffon, from Caddy Damus. As look at Caddy Damus down the inside into Puon. Can he make it work? No, he can't. And look at McQuiz trying to get past Denzamo. Now Washi's got a 2-second lead. And look, they're all squirming around looking for grip. And look at Caddy Damus getting past Zek into P4. Amazing showing so far from the Canadian here, as he looks like he's very good in these changeable conditions. So what a chaotic start. And down the inside goes Caddy Damus, past McQuiz into P3. Oh, contact made! And off into the gravel trap goes McQuiz and Caddy Damus. And now it is a Toro Rosso 1-2. Washi, Denzamo, Zek, Buffon, Caddy Damus, McQuiz, Hoink, Boniface, Seika, Noodle, Ghost Hunter, Ian, Danny OK, David Ben, and Jason, who has retired. Into the pits. Well, Washi stays out, interestingly. Now, they obviously assume this is obviously going to dry up. Look at Buffon up into P4, and he's made the move on Caddy Damus. So we're now seeing the guys who are really, really showing how they're able to drive in these changeable conditions. McQuiz has had an absolute disaster diving down the inside versus Caddy Damus, and will now have to try to redeem himself. But now he gets the cutback, does Caddy Damus, and gets through. Oh, he's in the wall! So a commentator has cursed him there. McQuiz now has to try and get back past Buffon, but up front it is Washi who leads by 5 seconds over Denzamo. Zek in P3, who started in P13 as far as I remember. Buffon in P4, but he's got to defend from McQuiz. And Hoink, who's now on the back of the F7 man who moved down to F8. Is McQuiz going to try one, or will Hoink try it on the outside into the second part of this track then? So what a chaotic start to the Belgian Grand Prix, and now Zek is looking threatening. Look at Hoink, he's trying to make a move into Brussels here. He's run way off the track. That's going to be a spin for the F7 man, and contact between himself and Daniel, or that'll be Caddy Damus he's made contact with, and up into P6 goes James Boniface. And now Zek is challenging Denzamo. What a showing from Zek here. Is he going to get into second place? He scored a podium in Silverstone, but can he score another one here in Spa? So now things can maybe start to get settled down, but now Buffon has got McQuiz and James Boniface for company here. Got a few moves there as Noodle gets past Caddy Damus, as Zek runs very wide, coming out of, that'll be Stavolo section there. We've got a yellow on sector 2, and there's an absolute train here as McQuiz is trying to get back past Buffon here towards Blanchimont. He's not going to make a move into Blanchimont, surely not in these conditions. We've got a constant yellow in sector 2 for whatever reason. We can't seem to figure that out just yet. Washi sets fastest lap. That is how wet it is, a 2:07.8. Now they all seem to assume that it's going to dry up, so it was obviously, I don't know if it was supposed to be a wet start, but they've all managed to, they're handling it well so far as McQuiz goes to the outside versus Buffon into La Source. Is he going to make that work? Yes, he does, and goes around the outside. Will Buffon get the cutback though? Is he alongside? No. McQuiz back up to P4, but 7 seconds clear at the front is Washi. Absolute dream scenario for him, as Zek gets a massive run on Denzamo. He's got DRS open here, and to the inside, down towards this second half of the circuit here. He goes down the inside. Denzamo tries to hold it on the outside, can't do it, and Zek goes into second place. That was, of course, the Les Combs section that was meant as Denzamo actually spun the car, it looks like. Hoink versus James Boniface past Les Combs here. Absolute train being formed here of McQuiz, Hoink, James, and Buffon. We see a move being made down there. That'll be Caddy Damus and Seika going at it down into Brussels here. He's trying to look to the inside. Is Seika? This is for 9th position and makes the move cleanly as you like and gets into P9. So there, look at James Boniface. Is he going to try into Puon? Surely not. Into Puon. backs out of it, thinks better of it. Hoink gets a massive twitch, and he's going to have to defend from James Boniface here in the McLaren. He's not going to be able to do it, and through into P5 goes Boniface. So running order: Washi, Zek, Denzamo, McQuiz, Boniface, Hoink, Buffon, Noodle, Seika, Calidamus, Ghost, Ian, David Ben, and Danny Oyuke. Absolute disaster for David Ben. A huge accident at Eau Rouge involving himself, and I believe it was Danny Oyuke involved as well. But that's Grand Prix racing for you. Now, it's going to be interesting to see who will start making the moves when it comes. But it looks like this is going to dry up as far as we can see. And there you have it. That shows you Zek is setting fastest laps in this Grand Prix. So it looks like he's really come alive in these changeable conditions. Meanwhile, look at James Boniface and this will be Hoink. He gets a good cutback on the way out of last source there, but he's going to get a kick of oversteer, and that'll be actually Stewart making a move on Buffon there. And down towards Eau Rouge, there's surely not going to be a move made there. Another yellow flag in Sector 2 as Hoink runs wide up Radion there. And loses a lot of time to the McLaren, and will now fall into the clutches of another McLaren. Meanwhile, down the back, David Ben setting fastest laps. He's going to have to make a move on Ian here. He's going to maybe think about diving into the inside, into La Source. And this could get a little bit hairy if David Ben pulls alongside, but he gets a massive twitch there on the way out, and nothing going to come of that just yet, as Danny Oyuke is having a torrid time. Seika and Buffon going at it there and into Brussels, and Noodle trying to down the inside of Hoink into Brussels as well, and makes that move. And can Seika think about making a move then? Meanwhile, Zek is absolutely reeling in Washi up the front. He's pulled 2 seconds on him, and this is turning out to be a fascinating Grand Prix, the first 4 laps. Look at the Seika, nice run through Pouon there. And he's going to try it up the inside into this next section here. On the inside, he's on soft tires versus ultra softs, and gets that move done. There is Danny Oyuke down the back. And there is the rain has stopped, ladies and gentlemen. The rain has in fact stopped. So now we wait for things to dry up, and now the race gets interesting. Well, we know McQuiz is very fast in the dry, so let's see if he can claw back what he lost. Zek, fastest lap once again, but he's losing time to Washi now. Meanwhile, let's keep an eye on this battle as Hoink is trying to defend from Buffon into the bus stop. And comes in. Now, Hoink is probably going to switch on to... let's see what he switches on to. Because now this throws strategy up into the air. Well, he's actually lost a bit of his front wing. So that may be why he's coming in. He's going to go onto a set of super soft tires and get a fresh wing for himself. As we see a move between... That'll be Ghost going around the outside of Calidamus. Nice move from the debutant then. David Ben setting fastest lap. So now then, the rain has stopped, but the track is not dry, so let's wait and see how the drivers respond to a drying track. So see Buffon and Seika nice and close together as he makes a move and tries to get past towards Brussels, and he'll make that move stick, it looks like. Seika maybe thinking about holding on the outside. Does not do so, and into P7 goes the Ferrari. McQuiz now starts to reel in the man in third place, which is Denzamo. Started on the front row, now in third. McQuiz started on pole, down in fourth, has a disastrous first lap. Washi in the dream scenario right now. Massive twitch from McQuiz there. But Washi is now in the dream scenario of being out the front 5 seconds clear, and McQuiz has got a lot of work to do. But Washi, if he wins this race, he's going to claw back what he lost in the past few races. There he is setting fastest lap. The lap time's starting to drop dramatically now. They're already up 12 seconds. So the track is drying, and in comes McQuiz for his pit stop. So let's see what he goes on to. Should be a set of super softs, I would have to imagine. Boniface goes into P4. Super softs for that man there, McQuiz, and Noodle sets fastest lap there. Oh, it must be... Now, why is he getting held in his pit box? Now, I think it must have been Seika coming in and Buffon coming in, it looks like. So that wouldn't have helped him. He got held in his box. And where is he going to come out? There's David Ben. He might come out. He's going to come out in front of David Ben, but only just. So David Ben now back into the points, which is a good job from him. Ian into the points. Buffon, and that'll be Buffon and Stewart going at it. Buffon gets back past Stewart then into Lecombe. But your running order is Washi, Zek, Denzamo, Boniface, Buffon, Stewart, Seika, McQuiz, David Ben, Ian, Hoink, Ghost Hunter, Caddy Damus, Danny Oyok, and our only retirement is Jason. I'm just looking at P11 here. Hoink on fresh super softs, and he's got the lapped car of Caddy Damus just behind him, or that'd be Danny Oyok, sorry. Let's watch this unfold through No Name Corner. And he's going to have to get past the Renault of Ian then. This is 4 points. And off wide goes Danny Oyuk. He's 2 minutes behind the leading pack then. And just looking at the time up front, Zek pulling time on Washi out front. So is Washi perhaps coming in? Well, he hasn't actually. He has not come in. Zek remains out. Denzamo also remains out. Boniface remains out. All the top 5 remain out. Noodle's on an alternate strategy. He's on softs. As well as Seika. These guys running well. So, slight train forming between these guys. David Ben, another fastest lap. The lap time's dropping dramatically now. As Hoink and Ian swap positions. And that was a DRS pass, it looked like. And into P10 goes Hoink. Stewart getting DRS on Buffon then in the Ferrari. Can he make a move then? Is he going to think about it into Lecombe? No, we're going to ride on board with him as he chases the Ferrari down. He got past in the wet conditions, but is now trying to make his way back past. Be interesting to see when the guys up front will start making their stops. And Quiz has made a stop. Zek, Washi and Denzamo have not made a stop as of yet, but they may be able to extend their strategies thanks to the wet start. As Stewart runs massively wide, Seika's going to capitalise on that on the inside through Puon! Wheel banging, and Seika gets through into P6. That was a hairy moment for the Haas driver then. But then again, he's had his share of hairy moments in his old teammate Clean Bandit at Monaco. Ended up sideways on the guardrail down towards the chicane after the tunnel. So that will be nothing to him. McQuiz down in P8 now. So I'm interested to see what he's trying strategy-wise. The guys are still relatively close together, so this could be perhaps the thinking from McQuiz. Seika gets past Noodle there into the bus stop chicane. And a good move from him. He's now running in a great 5th. McQuiz into P7 as a result sets fastest lap. So lap times between Zek and Washi being exchanged. Let's see what Buffon has gone on to actually. He's gone on to a set of softs. As we see Noodle and Seika about to go back at it again. DRS for Stewart. He's going to go down the outside to Lecombe. Is he going to make that move? He's going to... Yes, he does. Seika, I think wisely, backed out of that then. We're on lap 8 of 22. We got a yellow in Sector 1. Let's see who that's for. It is for Danny Oyuk, who's having an absolutely awful race today. So, Seika and Stewart still going at it down in... This is for 5th position, but this is allowing a quiz to close in, of course. Just about see him in the background then. So probably the most chaotic start to a Grand Prix this season. And Spa-Francorchamps certainly delivering another classic race-wise. We had an amazing race here in the Classic Series, Christmas Cup. And we're seeing another one here. In comes your race leader for his pit stop. Zek will stay out and take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. So we also have to assume Denzamo will stay out for another lap. And onto a set of super soft tyres. Look at the blisters on the back of those tyres. Just saw the strip of rubber down the back. And huge blisters on the rear then. Boniface goes into P3. It's going to be tight between himself and Washi. Where is Washi? He's come out there. He's just about to come out in front of James. But he's going to have the momentum. So James will be a threat coming up to the Kemmel Straight. He's going to get a run up Eau Rouge and into Radigon. Let's keep an eye then. Look at the blisters on the left-hand side there. The two blisters in the middle of the tyre then. So I don't think he's going to be able to put up much of a fight versus Washi. Meanwhile, McQuiz now starting to make his way past. He's made his way past Seiki there. DRS wide open. And easily gets past Seiki. Got on the grass a little bit there, did Seika. So then, we've got just over 12 laps to go, and then Noodle just lets McQuiz through, doesn't hold him up. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2 as we see Noodle heading, that's Boniface, into the wall. That's at that left-right section. So a rare mistake from James Boniface there, and there is McQuiz. So he's going to surge past into P4 then. Well, he's going to try. Oh, Zek has bottled it once again. He's gone off at Blanchimont and has bottled the race lead. King Bottle Job returns, and what a shame that is. It is a Toro Rosso 1-2 as Denzamo will come into the pits and Washi will take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix once again. But what a shame for Zek, who puts it in the wall at Blanchimont with a hard crash into the wall. Boniface comes in for his stop. Noodle stays out. He's on soft tyres. So these guys are going to go into... This will be P4 and 5 with David Ben making a comeback there. He's in P6 now. P5, excuse me. So, comes out in front of Denzamo. Yes, he does. So Seika, this is actually for P3 and 4 now. These guys are fighting for... Oh, Blanchy! Oh my goodness me, almost done a Kevin Magnussen there. As he has a hairy moment, does Seika, in the Haas. And now he's going to have to let Denzamo straight through. Or will he? He might fight it here, actually. Nope, Denzamo gets through. So you're now your top two, McQuiz and Washi. Super softs each, and we have 13 laps to go. Can McQuiz reel him in? So Seika is probably trying to recover from that absolutely hairy moment he had at the top of Radion. Buffon and IJ swapping positions there as we have a problem for... That's Ian. The other Renault has a problem then. Spins it at Brussels. And there is Ghost going to take advantage and get into a points paying position. Meanwhile, Stewart running in a brilliant fourth position, might I say. As David Ben has got past Noodle actually and into a podium place. That is a stellar drive, stellar recovery after ending in the wall at Eau Rouge. To say he's up in P3 now is absolutely fantastic stuff. So then, Denzamo trying to make his way back past again. He's on super soft tyres versus old soft tyres. In comes David Ben and in comes Noodle, so that ends that. But Denzamo into P3 and Seika up into P4. We have to assume he's coming. He's trying to overcut Noodle then. And the gap is coming down up front, but it will take a few laps for that to come down. He's going to have to put in... McQuiz is going to have to put in a massive drive to catch Washi now. Let's see, David Ben gone Super Soft's Noodle onto Super Soft's. In comes Buffon. And he's serving a 5-second stop go, it looks like. Well, 5-second time penalty. And he goes on to Super Soft's, it looks like, and a new wing for him. So we can already say this is Spa-Francorchamps easily the race of the season for me. Monaco was brilliant, but this has turned out to be the most action-packed Grand Prix this season. Then again, I did miss a few. But let's watch David Ben as he carves his way back through the pack after a huge accident on the first lap at Eau Rouge, involving himself and Danny Oyuke, who's still running around in 14th. And now, let's watch David Ben as he closes in on James Boniface. How far can David Ben get himself up? He started on P4 on the grid today, ended in the wall in Eau Rouge on lap 1. We may see a swap down in 10th, for 9th place shortly. Now, I'm going to see, but Boniface have wing damage. Doesn't look like it, but he's on old tyres. David Ben on brand new Super Softs. Let's see how this one is going to end. I think we all know how it's going to end. This Welshman is going to surge past James Boniface and go into P6 in this Grand Prix. As Ian makes a move. Well, this could end. This is interesting. Through Blanchimont on the outside. Ian gets... Is he going to try? He somehow holds it, but has to give in the end. Very, very audacious, but well done to him for trying. And there was a problem for McQuiz because he's dropped back. He's dropped back massively from... I think he's had to spin somewhere. Now he's falling into the clutches of Denzamo. And let's watch towards Les Combes. Is there going to be a move? No. But now surely this is Washi's race to lose. Or Washi's race to win, excuse me. Hoyne closing in on Seika for that position there. David Ben with DRS now. Closing in on James Boniface. Very late on the brakes there. And he can smell blood. And he's all over him coming through towards Brussels. And he's surely going to try one into Brussels. No, thinks about it. But forces Boniface into a mistake there. Slight mistake from him. And I think may have to hang behind for another section or two. As, Seika makes a mistake through Pouon. Loses the position to Hoink there. And let's keep an eye on the Ferrari as he tries to put one on the McLaren. James could have won in Monaco, but ended in the wall. Did win a race this season, which was a fantastic win it was as well. Ian finally makes a move on Ghost there. Now, towards Blanchimont goes David Ben in the Ferrari. Is he going to think about going to the outside? He should be alongside now, but no. So he has to think about it. Think about where he's going to make that move. Into the bus stop chicane, perhaps. Is he going to launch one down the inside? No, thinks better of it. Boniface locks up and gets right on his gearbox. Seika comes in for his pit stop into P5 and P6 respectively. Go the McLaren and the Ferrari. 10 laps to go. All over the back of him is David Ben, but James holding on really well. Massive twitch for the both of them coming out of that source. So we'll have DRS down the Kemmel straight. Let's keep an eye on the Ferrari. Let's got right on board of them as we go over Rattillon. No move between McQuiz and Denzamo just yet. He's gaining. Nothing for him yet, so we'll have to hang back. But he gains a lot of time through Les Combes there. And coming down towards Brussels. Will he make a move this time? He's going to have to think about it. Yes, he does. He launches one down the inside. Forces his way through, but it's going to end up in a spin and onto the grass. Goes David Ben. He was audacious, but it didn't work out for him. So he's going to have to hang back and now try and catch back up to the man in 5th position. Denzamo not able to keep up with McQuiz. He's dropped to just outside DRS range. But Washi clear in the lead out front. No problems for him whatsoever so far. He had a pretty hectic first lap there, but has held it all together. And will now extend his championship lead as Seika is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Where has he dropped that? Has also dropped it at Pouon. That is a massive moment and a huge crash for the Haas team there. And into the points goes Buffon now as a result. And there's Daniel Oyuke also out. He's crashed the top of Radion. That is a huge accident. So we've lost 2 drivers in the space of a minute. So then, Denzama's still within DRS range, but I don't think he's going to be quite able to make that move on the Estonian. As Ghost makes his pit stop, let's see what he goes on to. He's on very, very old super softs. You can see the blister down the middle. Into 9th goes Buffon. Caddy, will he go? He's on ultra softs, so he's on a completely different strategy here. I think he's just going for fastest lap at this point. Onto a set of super softs and a new wing. David Ben has closed the gap once again, and will now try and fight his way past the McLaren. Gets a good run out of no-name corner. Now, surely not going to try it into Pouon. It'd be very audacious if he did, but nope, thinks better of it. Hangs back, but he's going to be affected by the dirty air. He's run wide. Huge moment out of Pouon there. Holds it together, but I think he's going to need some new pants after that one. So, drops back to just outside DRS range. Well, gains it back on the run up to Blanchimont. And in comes McQuiz. Now, what is going on here? So, is the tyre wear... Well, I guess it was a 2-stop strategy, or is this a wing change? No, it is a stop, so McQuiz could not handle the tyre wear. Either that, or these guys are going for the 2-stop. Let's see, as we see. But now Hoink into 3rd place, Boniface into P4, David Ben into P5 as a result of McQuiz's stop. So no damage for McQuiz, but it was like just a normal stop for him. Even so, Washy's well clear at the front. He is about 26 seconds clear. Yeah, 26 seconds clear out the front. Sector 1, Sector 2, we got a yellow flag. Momentary yellow flag, that is. And David Ben, let's keep an eye on how he's getting on. He's closed up to the back of Boniface for the 3rd time. Is it 3rd time lucky for the Welshman? Let's watch. Through Pouon nicely for the 2 of them then. McQuiz in the background. So, if he wants to make a move, he's going to have to get alongside towards Blanchimont. And I think he might, because it's a bad run from James coming out of that corner there. So will David Ben be able to pull alongside? Doesn't look like it. But as we run towards Blanchimont and through Blanchimont, let's watch as he comes towards the bus stop chicane. Boniface is going to defend that inside line, switch to the outside. David Ben thinks about a move, but backs out of it. So, David Ben almost clipping the back of James then. So we've 7 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It's been washy all the way so far. No sign of them making a pit stop just yet, so I'm not quite sure what happened to McQuiz. But it's been a disaster for him as David Ben hits the back of Boniface going through Les Combes. Just carried a lot more speed. And is now going to have the effect of having a bit of his wind vortex generator gone, which will affect his downforce. Yeah, he's got big damage on that, on the right hand side of his wing there, and he's struggling to keep up with James now. Yeah, look at that massive understeer through Pouon then. And look at McQuiz closing in. So I think the max result for McQuiz could potentially still be a podium. But he's going to have to put in a lot of effort to catch up to them. But he is doing so. He's pulled 2 seconds in the space of no time at all. He's already within DRS range of David Ben. Surely David Ben's coming in for a new front wing. Well, he stays out for now, but staying on board with McQuiz. As we come across the line, McQuiz sets fastest lap of 1:48.4. But the thing is just now on damage limitation, as Hoink is on a stellar drive right now in P3. So it'll be DRS for the Estonian as we come across the Kemmel Straight for the 17th time today. DRS flap allowing more air through the rear wing. Allows him to close up a little bit, gives him 20 kilometers an hour speed advantage through leg calm. Wide both times for David Ben as we run down to Brussels. He's already trying to make a move and he's trying to get alongside David Ben, squeezes him to the inside, not taking any of it from the Estonian. So hard racing from the two of them then. Meanwhile, Boniface has caught up to Hoink then, so this is also a battle for a podium. So I think Hoink has been on those tyres for a long time. Through Pouon, McQuiz gets past David Ben. What a move from the Estonian. So took advantage of the poor run from David Ben and goes up the inside through Pouon. That took a lot of commitment. But now look at Boniface easily closing up to Hoink here as we run up to Blanchimont. Let's run on board with it. Look at the Hoink is on old tyres, blistered to the ends of the earth. And Boniface is surely going to make an easy move here, up the inside, through the bus stop chicane. Hoink is not going to fight that, and in he comes for his pit stop. Nice move from Boniface, and into P3 he goes. But now McQuiz is going to be closing in on him. So it's going to be... Let's see how Boniface's tyres are looking pretty clean, but McQuiz is on pretty much brand new tyres in comparison to his, so it's going to be not going to be too much of an effort for him to pass. Meanwhile, up front it is a Toro Rosso 1-2. Washi leads the Belgian Grand Prix from Denzamo, from Boniface, from McQuiz, from David Ben, from Noodle, from Hoink, from Buffon, Ian, Ghost Hunter and Caddy Damas. We've had 4 retirements from this Grand Prix: Seika, Daniel UK, Zek and Jason. So we're coming into the dying moments of this Grand Prix. Washi leads the way, and this is going to be his first win. Well, we think it's going to be his first win since, believe it or not, he has not won a race since Monaco earlier this season. So, from starting last season with no podiums, no pole positions, no wins, has managed to get them all. Well, I don't think he managed a pole position this season, but it's been an amazing season for Washi so far. He's leading the championship. He's going to extend that gap even more. He had a bit of a few races of poor runs, but now he's going to extend that. Denzamo will also close the gap between himself and McQuiz. and it's going to be an interesting season as a result of that. But McQuiz, we don't know what happened. It's just been one of those days for the Estonian. Bad day at the office. It started off when it was wet, but still dry tyres required. And that was the downfall of the Estonian. Just dropped to a long way back and wasn't able to hold on. And so dropped quite a substantial number of positions. Has fought his way back to 4th. David Ben ended up in the wall at Eau Rouge at the start of this Grand Prix. He has fought back to 5th. So some great comebacks for the drivers today. We're going to go to 3 laps to go next time around. Let's keep an eye on Washi's tyres. They're looking pretty clean. Slight blister down the middle, but nothing to worry about just yet. Just want to see if McQuiz is going to be able to close in and pass Boniface here. We're going to go back to this battle though as we ride on the rear wing of the Red Bull. Heinke is on ultra soft tyres versus Noodle, who's on super softs. I think Noodle has done the one stop today. He's done the super soft strategy. Everybody pretty much managing the one stop, but he's gone for an alternate one stop. And on board, it's going to be Noodle. Huge twitch out of the bus stop chicane and into 6th place, and sets fastest lap as a result. He's on ultra soft tyres and takes fastest lap with ease. Washi going through Pouon right now. These guys down at Les Combes. And McQuiz is closing in very quickly on Boniface. And even though he started on pole and could have won this race, it's going to be a good result for McQuiz to get back to a podium, just to minimise the points loss today. The gap is going to go up a Boniface, a huge twitch out of Pouon, and this should make it nice and easy for McQuiz to slip up the inside. No thinks about it, but Boniface goes deep, as well as McQuiz. As a go to Savolo. And let's see how McQuiz is going to make this move. Boniface goes very wide, and closes the door in McQuiz's face. Will not take it. So you're not passing me, mate. You're going to have to work to pass me. 2 laps to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. So, for those of you that have noticed the lack of streams the past 2 weeks, I was off gallivanting in the F1 tier. As we have contact made, and would you look at that? McQuiz hits the back of Boniface, and sportsmanlike, as always, McQuiz, I think, is going to wait up and give that position back to Boniface, but that was definite contact made, and David Ben's going to capitalise here and try to launch down the inside of La Source, and is going to take that position away. Now, that is drama in the Belgian Grand Prix. Hits the back of Boniface. Boniface loses the back end. A mistake on McQuiz's part. And this could be interesting. Anyway, I was saying, I was gallivanting off in the AOR F1 tier. And I was covering for one of the guys over there. But I'm back now. And I'm glad I came back when I did, to be honest, because look at the race we're getting today. Now McQuiz has got to think: will he be given a penalty for that? That's if Boniface takes it to the stewards, if he decides to. But he looks like he's got more pace than David Ben, and look at that through Pouon, closes right up to the back of him. We have just about 1 lap to go. Washi is about to start his final lap, and going to take his first victory since Monaco this season. Denzamo led the race for a momentary spite, but now going to finish in P2, it looks like. Yellow in sector 2. Boniface has spun it again. So I think this is just pure frustration for Boniface as he spins the car in and drops to 6th. And there is his teammate. He's going to maybe just let him back through. Well, he may just gain enough momentum to stay ahead of Noodle there. But what drama in the dying moments of the Belgian Grand Prix. Boniface locks up and goes wide at bus stop chicane, has to cut it and gets a 10-second time penalty. And that's just going to add to his frustrations today. And meanwhile, on the final lap then, coming through No Name Corner, Washi has done everything he needed to do today. And is going to recover from a spate of poor races. Well, last time around he took a third, but he hasn't had a race win in a good while. McQuiz has taken that honour a number of times this season, but he's going to recover and take what is a great victory for him. Another 25 points to add to his tally, and looks like Boniface has had another off and has gone into the wall, and that is a real shame. But coming through Blanchimont for the final time, Washi in the Toro Rosso has put on a stellar show and has shown that he is very much capable of leading this championship. He's worthy of it. And coming through the final corner, Washi wins the Belgian Grand Prix and extends his championship lead over McQuiz. Denzamo will round out the podium, the top two at least, and will take a 1-2 for Scuderia Toro Rosso here in Belgium. McQuiz recovered well, but under dubious circumstances at the bus stop. He's going to come through and take a podium finish. He's going to finish in third. David Ben, what a recovery drive from him, is going to come through and finish in a great fourth position considering the massive accident he had. Hoink is going to come through and finish a great fifth. Noodle into P6, but Boniface is there in P7, but only just about in P7. He's maybe in danger of losing these two positions in the dying few corners as Ian and Buffon are closing in. Boniface is there. He's got 10 seconds. He's going to drop right behind these guys anyway. So Buffon's going to finish in P7. Ian in P8. And Ghost is going to get points on his debut, so congratulations to him. There he is in 10th. Coming through to finish his first AOR F8 race and going to score points on his debut. So there he is coming through the bus stop chicane. Haas didn't have the best day today, but they're going to capitalise on it, and he's going to finish in the points, so congratulations to Ghost Andres. He crosses the line. And that is going to do it for the Belgian Grand Prix. What a race that was. Action all the way throughout. And Washi takes a well-deserved victory. And we're going to have the podium celebrations now, as they'll all come out onto the podium momentarily. And there he is, Washi stands on the top step of the podium once again this season. McQuiz and Denzamo alongside him, and extends his championship lead over McQuiz. McQuiz had a dire race today. Can he come back next time in Monza? Find out next time on AOR F8. We'll see you next time in Monza. Have a great day. Bye bye.